Welcome to my first reading vlog for the Crimson Talekeepers book club. This is a brand new book club that Alexia and I have created, and we would love for you to join down in the links down below. You can expect monthly fantasy and romantasy reads, a Discord group chat with tons of specialized threads, and monthly reading vlogs from both Alexia and I. Mine are going to be full spoiler. I'm going to talk about every detail for the books that we are reading. So if you would like to be part of the discussion and learn more about our book club, definitely check out the links down in the description below and join us. The very first book that we are reading for our book club is A Treachery of Swans by A.B. Poranek. This is a sapphic Swan Lake retelling. I absolutely adored A.B. Poranek's first book, and I am so thrilled to have this be our very first book club book. Like I said, this is going to be a full spoiler reading vlog, so take this as your sign to pick up the book, save this video for later, or come and join our book club so that you can join the discussion. I figured we can sit here and start the first chapter together. I also have an Illumicrate book, but it has been packed up and shipped away, so I just have my normal hardback with me today. This map and art style is so unbelievably pretty. Dramatis Personae. This is really cool. It's the list of characters. And my cousin has already started this book and said it was giving major French vibes, but like not in a super understandable way. All right, well, we'll see. Scene 1 is the name of chapter 1, so I guess this is more like a play? I mean, that makes sense with the Dramatis Personae. All right, scene 1, Théâtre du Roi, night. They will tell the story later of the white swan and the black, but they will tell it wrong. That's a pretty good opening. The play is drawing to a close and I have been stabbed. What? Our main character has yellow eyes. The Couronne de Rue, the king's enchanted crown, is the only goddess gold object that contains enough magic for Renault to summon back Morgaine, to force the kingdom's once patron to return and lift her curse from our lands. She may act like she's a forlorn deity, but even goddesses have desires, and I intend to exploit this one. Okay, that was an awesome first chapter. It was 12 pages long. There's definitely like a large current. Oh my goodness, wait. I'm noticing the owl pendant now that was mentioned a couple times in the first chapter here. Very heavy French scenery. There's definitely a darker undercurrent, but I don't think this is going to be like a super like dark book, I guess I would say. The first chapter definitely like intrigued me. We set up our scenery of this like, I guess, royal theater, or just a theater outside the royal palace. Our white swan here has already been called like the Swan Princess, just because, you know, things that are good and pure must equate to sweet woodland animals. And she is the most likely candidate to become the next princess, because the prince is turning 18 and he must choose a bride at his party tomorrow night, and that is when our dark swan comes in. She is the daughter or the adopted orphan, unclear so far, of perhaps the owner of the stage, also unclear, but he is definitely a dark sorcerer, and he has enlisted our dark swan to capture the maybe soon-to-be princess, to turn her into a swan so that she can then take her place and get into the palace to seal the crown. And all of that was established within 12 pages, as well as several minor characters and kind of the tone of the book, which is very decadent, I would say. I think is a good word for this book so far. I don't think it's too heavy-handed in any way. I think it's perfectly like encapsulates kind of like a theatrical scenery. The way that she's describing things makes me really excited for when we enter the palace, because I feel like we're gonna get some really like lush, ornate descriptions. After the first chapter, I don't fully know the I guess the desires of our main character, the Dark Swan. She wants to do well by her father or her father figure, and so far that's it. This is a pretty short book. It's only like 300 and some pages. Yeah, like 350 pages-ish. I'm hoping to get a good chunk of the way into this tonight, but I do have a lot of things to do today, so that's going to be all for now. Oh, this artwork is so beautiful. I wish I had my Illumicrate version to show you as well. like this limitation on the magic. We're in chapter 5 here, talking about, I guess, the origin of the first sorcier, and Morgaine is the one that gives the first magic, and says, remember, this gift I have given you is limited to my domain of powers. It can only transform, but never create or destroy, for those are magics guarded by my sisters, too dangerous to be shared with mankind. And that lines up so far with how we turned Odette into a swan. We cannot kill her, or I guess bring her back to life. We can only transform, and I like that limitation. The end of chapter 7 with okay, here's where the real spoilers are happening, although not really, it's still written on the dust jacket, but the king is dead and they think her brother did it. And now the prince, unclear whether the prince also loves the brother, but the brother definitely loves the prince. Now the prince is obviously sobbing hysterically, saying, no, bring him back. Unclear whether he means his father or her brother, his guard. But either way, I love that this is a double gay book, and we're getting potentially a side plot of bodyguard prince. I love that. But I'm 67 pages in now. Ooh. His uncle is scarred, and he is acting as regent. I want to know why her blood is gold. It's the same golden blood as the sorcier Renaud, but it doesn't explain why or how many people have golden blood, and if you're born with it, or if he did something to her, or what is going on. Okay, same page. I've become friendly with them, the troops, the actors, but never too close, too familiar. Renaud always reminded me they could not be trusted, which is sad. They might seem kind, but one look at the color of my blood and they would turn on me as the doctors had on my mother, as the mob of villagers had on Renaud's family. So I guess it's hereditary? Adding a gun into the mix is odd. I wasn't expecting that kind of technology. My father has never given me a gift before. This magical gun is her first gift from him. Okay, I am now 95 pages in scene 11, or chapter 11, and I don't know what to think. She's about to go and turn Marie back into a human behind her father's back, so that's going to be really interesting because I am waiting for this love story to start. But for as who the killer is, the only innocent parties that I know of is obviously our main character, the brother who has been framed, probably innocent, and then Marie, because she was a literal swan and witnessed the attack. I don't think it's the prince because he is infuriating me. I mean, he could be pretending to be just a complete bimbo, but I don't think so. He wouldn't let his uncle or his stepmother completely take over all the power. So I guess the 3 main suspects are his uncle, who is just immediately stepping in as regent to control all the power, his stepmother, who weirdly does seem to hold a lot of power and a lot of sway, and then obviously the sorcier. So between the 3 of them, for some reason, I'm suspecting all 3 of them all together, but that might be too easy, I guess. I definitely see how all 3 of them could be together. I also see the uncle being a sorcerer, and that he was able to, I don't know, I guess kind of make some kind of dark dealing, or maybe the sorcier was having a dark dealing with the king. I don't really know. There's a lot of possibilities of who the culprit could be and why, obviously to get the power, but like, and how? So I really, like, I don't know. It could be any of the 3 of them, but it also could be someone unnamed. I don't think so. This book isn't really giving me the vibe of having a mystery that deep. I think it's gonna be one of the three of them. If I had to put my money on it, I would have to say the uncle who's a Scarface, but that's just too easy. It's too easy. Is it so easy that it comes right back around and is the correct thing? I don't know. My first bet is that it is in fact all three of them. Second bet is that if I had to pick one, the uncle, except the stepmother is also evil, except for the sorcier is also evil. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see how I'm right. I am gonna take my contacts out and get ready for bed and then get back to reading because I still got 250 pages left. Something that's really annoying, and it happened in this book, is when a character is falsely accused of something and they're in jail, and instead of being like, hey, I'm falsely accused, here's everything I know, I'll help you as best I can, like, let's take the real person down. Instead they go, no, don't get yourself involved, like, stay out of this. Like, what do you think you're gonna do from inside a jail cell? Like, obviously let's help each other here. And so here the brother's been falsely accused, and you know, our main character and the prince go to you know confront him, be like, what's going on? He's like, no, stay out of this. I hate that. It pisses me off every time. The fact that Marie found the correct string of magic in swan form instead of our main character is interesting, and I'm not sure if I like that. I mean, our main character really doesn't like that. Page 110. Did they mention Pierre, the Step Queen's young son, before this, or did I just forget? I like this. We're in the library now, and I really like this version of the prince that we're getting. He used to read fairy tales, he used to try really hard, but people just made fun of him and ruined his reputation, and he lost all of his confidence. And there's a line in here talking about the king, said he never read fairy tales, didn't stop one from killing him. Ooh, it is hereditary. Our main character is talking about how her mother used to tell stories from her grandmother or her great-great-grandmother working with magic. I wonder why her brother doesn't have it, or he does. Page 215, 216. Is the prince the monster? That makes, okay, it makes sense plot-wise, but it doesn't make sense context-wise. What? Okay, so he's definitely the monster. Like, he for sure is the monster. He runs into the hallway and is like in despair, and then the queen is like, no, I must run after him, and then suddenly there's a monster and the queen is now being freaking eaten. What? Is he not their son? I'm so confused. What is happening? She's plotting it together at the wedding. Bad time. Of course there's a blood oath at the ceremony. That's hilarious. Okay, at least they like saw him transform pretty soon after, like, I figured it out, I guess, because them not knowing was driving me crazy. It was like 20 pages. Odile. Ew. The regent, the uncle, the scarred uncle. No, I have a better solution. Once I become king, I will marry Odile. Oh, Marie Odette. Ew. Okay, I keep getting Marie Odette and Odile confused. The names are pissing me off. Rignall isn't merely Bertrand de Roux's descendant, he is Bertrand de Roux. Okay, I did not see that one coming. Ugh, Marie's too good for her. king killed his own wife? Oh my god. Ah! Alright, it is time to finish. I have like 30 pages left. Why do you always come back for me? Because I love you. Why? I'm not certain. I'm not certain either, Marie. Why do you love her? Okay, I've got mixed feelings on A Treachery of Swans. There was a lot that I liked in this book. I really love that it's a Swan Lake retelling. I don't really know the original tale too well. I really just have like vague memories of the animated movie and from like reading the plot of Swan Lake. But I do love that we had so much imagery to swans. I love that we had the swan wings in here multiple times. They ended up playing a pretty huge role and ended up like carrying a lot of literary significance. I really enjoyed that. I loved how much of this book took place by the lakeside. We took it very literally in the name Swan Lake. I really appreciated that one. The commitment to the bit was pretty real. I love how deeply theater plays a role in this book. I really love the setting of the Royal Theater and how much it played a part in being the home, in a sense, to our main character. I really like the title chapters were scene numbers. I really enjoyed that. Like in the end we had Fiend, like it says in an act in a book. I do think this could have been split up into acts. I think that would have just taken this a bit step forward and made it even more like a play. I loved having the dramatis personae in the beginning to show off the theater aspects. So I really enjoyed the incorporation and the commitment to the bit, as I can say. The entire thing to me felt like a play in a lot of ways, in the ways that we really had very few settings, the way that most things took place either in the castle by the lakeside or in the theater. You know, there's like one scene where they went into the town, but like that was really it. Like it felt like a play. I feel like I could have watched this on the stage and I think it would have come across very well. I can almost imagine like theatrical music playing in the background throughout this tale. Like she did a really wonderful job of making it very theatrical and like paying serious homage to the original work. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the mystery aspects of this. There were a couple mysteries, obviously the whodunit murder mystery, but also like, is there a curse? What is the curse? How is it affecting us? Who is the, you know, main evil person in the play? Although some things I felt were very obvious, they also were kind of a screen for things that I didn't even think about, for other things that I was like, oh my goodness, yes, that makes so much sense. Like obviously as soon as a sorcier comes on the stage, like you know he's evil. Like you know he's evil, like from the very beginning. But like we kind of knew that he would be behind a lot of the power structures and that he, you know, obviously has this darker ulterior motive going on in the background. It took me a little bit longer than I'd like to admit to realize that he is the original sorcerer and that he, you know, he's actually like the person that we're reading about. So having like mysteries hidden behind other mysteries was really enjoyable from a reading perspective. This commitment to the bit though, I think sometimes went a little far, in the point that our characters to me felt pretty flat and there were a lot of things that were convenient for convenience's sake, because I think in plays some things just have to be convenient. Yes, there are less people on the grounds and it wasn't directly said, but you can infer that there were less servants and guards and whatnot, just that there would be less witnesses to potentially the royal family turning into monsters. So that also means our main characters can sneak around at night, like climbing in and out of windows and like fly around, and like nobody is there to witness anything. Our characters are kind of dumb in a lot of ways. They're not sneaky. They think they're being sneaky, but they're really not. It's really just convenient that there's nobody else around to witness these activities going on. It's convenient that everything is so close together. It's convenient that our white swans another thing is Odile and Odette, Marie Odile and Odette, or is it Odile, Marie Odette? I don't know. It's very confusing. But Marie, the white swan, I'm just gonna keep calling them the white swan and the black swan. The white swan is very convenient that her going missing is totally fine for her, and that her parents are not there to know that her daughter is not really her daughter and that it's somebody else in disguise. It's convenient that she hasn't been seen in 5 years so that nobody else really knows what she's like. It's convenient that she, really doesn't mind being a swan, It's convenient that our black swan's brother is the, I guess, head guardsman, I don't know, and that he is, of course, in love with our prince, and that, he just wants them to be safe. It's convenient that, like, a single, like, placed word will get, of being like, oh, I wish we had somebody to plan this grand wedding, and, like, people immediately think of the theater director, the evil sorcerer. There's just a lot of convenience in here that every time I was just like, come on, that's too easy. Things just fall very neatly into place with greater frequency than I truly like in my books. And then the thing about characters being pretty flat, there wasn't really a ton of, I would say there's a little bit of character development, but not really. It's kind of like the natural progression of what would happen in this story. Obviously, our main character realizes that her entire life has been a lie and that maybe she should try to be a better person and, like, stop pretending that she's evil when she's really not and she never really has been. All she wants is magic and power, and by the end she gets it. She's like, wait, but I also want love? Like, duh. Our prince, like, grows a bit of a backbone throughout the story, but he still is just kind of the character of, like, not really a shallow, but a semi-shallow kind of prince. But he doesn't really have much else to his character aside from the fact that he cares about things and people in general, but, like, he lets people walk over him. So him growing a backbone is really the only thing that he has going for him. Damien, the character, doesn't change or grow at all. I do wish he was in more scenes because he was a pretty nice foil to everyone else. Him recognizing that the evil sorcerer is evil and doing bad things, and that he just trying to protect the people that he loves. I really enjoyed him as a character, but again, not much growth because we didn't really see him much. Our white swan character, she, a very rich person who does not like her lot in life, has very controlling parents, controlling life, like, she just wants to be free. Of course. Her falling in love with our black swan, I'm like, really? I guess, like, I can see, like, why you are interested in her, maybe. Like, I guess she's, like, interesting and fun and maybe a little cool, even though she's, like, definitely got her head up her ass kind of thing. I can see why you might like her or, like, be intrigued by her. I don't really see how you're in love with her by the end of the book, aside from, like, lust, I guess. It seems very surface level for me. I guess things are put into perspective when it's life and death, but I didn't really believe in their love story. I way more believed in the love story between the guard and the king. Like, they obviously spent a lot of time together, but I wanted more from them. All we know is that they definitely, like, love each other, but, like, that's it. That's all off page, before page. I want to know more of their love story and how that came to be. And then our black swan falling in love with our white swan. She's really just like, wow, she's like the epitome of goodness and beautifulness. And, like, she's too kind and too good. I love her. Like, okay, I guess. I didn't really believe it. I didn't get the vibes. I didn't really believe it. I can see, like, they spent, what, like, 2 weeks together 5 years ago when they were 13, and they were just, like, making their first real friendship, I guess, except that it was immediately done, and now 5 years later They're like, what, does this take place over a week or a month or something? And they're like in love. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a skeptic. Altogether, I like the vibes, I like the commitment to the bit, but I do feel like it was a bit too surface level across the board. I would recommend this to people who enjoy theater, who enjoy like dark mystery fantasy novels. I do recommend it. I don't think I can blatantly recommend this to a lot of people, but I do think that tried really hard to lean into the gothic vibes, gothic undertones, and I think it is at least partially successful in doing so. I don't know what my final rating would be. I think I'm like somewhere between a 3.5 and a 3.75. I think the writing was nice. I think it became a bit purple and a bit heavy-handed at times, but I think that's just kind of the direction this author chose to go in with leaning into such gothic theatrical vibes. Part of me wishes that we had a continued series of our Black Swan going and learning and becoming more powerful, but the other part of me is incredibly relieved that we don't do that and then we just get the epilogue of when she comes back. Unsure how much time has passed because she is so powerful by the time she comes back. I'm like, okay, did you go for like a couple months? Did you go for a couple years? Has it been 2 decades and you're like 2 decades older and our poor white swan is the same age? Like, unclear on a lot of forums. I like that it was told like story format in the beginning and it went from first person to third person. I did enjoy that. So there are good things about this book. I did enjoy it. I definitely liked this author's first book more. Just leaned more into the fairy tale, sentient forest, sentient house vibes that I think I just enjoy more, but this was a good book. I will think of it fondly. And that concludes our book club's very first pick. I am so excited to be part of this book club and co-leading it with Alexia. Definitely go and check out her reading vlog. Her reading vlog should also go up today. Hers is also going to be filled with spoilers, so hopefully if you made it to this part of my video, you have already read the book, and therefore you can go and watch her video as well. You are still welcome to join our book club at literally any time. You don't have to read every book. There are a couple people that skip this book just because of schedule conflicts, but are getting really ready for our next books. Our next book is going to be The Poet Empress. We are all so excited for this book. It is a darker fantasy, not a romantasy, and it has made a lot of people cry. I'm very much looking forward to that. And then our next book is a kind of cozy romantasy, Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I've been wanting to read those books for a long time, so I'm psyched to start that series. Either today or tomorrow, we are also going to put a poll into our Discord so that we can vote on our October book. We are leaning more into the autumnal gothic vibes for those book picks, so we're really looking forward to seeing what book our book club decides on. And if you would like to be part of that decision process and join our book club, definitely join in the links down in my description below. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. Let me know if you have read A Treachery of Swans and what you thought about it. I hope I didn't just spoil everything for you. I hope you understood this was a spoiler vlog. And even if you don't join our book club, I am going to continue posting these monthly spoiler reading vlogs, so you are welcome to just follow along with that instead. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.